Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In today's occasion, we would like to present our material about English language school management. But before we begin our presentation, please allow me to introduce myself and my group member. We are from group 14. My name is Andi Anugrah Putra, and my friend's name is Rifqah. Okay, in introduction, the first is English introduced during colonial era. During the Dutch colonial period, English was taught in some schools but was not widespread. It became more systematically integrated into education after Indonesia's independence. It became compulsory in secondary schools in the 1950s. In the post-independence era, English was formally introduced into the national curriculum as a compulsory subject in junior and senior high schools to prepare the students for global interaction. In this case, English as a global language plays a key role in international communication, business, technology, and academic. Mastery of English is seen as essential for global competitive. It benefits of English proficiency. It opens the access to higher education abroad, increases job prospect, and enables participation in global networks and cultural exchange. The challenges in English language education. The first, we have to see that the teacher training quality. Many teachers, especially in rural areas, lack sufficient training in both language proficiency and modern pedagogy. We have also seen the curriculum design. The national curriculum may not align with students' real-world needs or the cultural context. Access to resource. Many schools face a shortage in books, media, and internet access, limiting effective language instruction. Apart from that, there is also opportunities. The growing demand for English has led to increased investment in private courses like online platforms and a cross-sector partnership to improve the English education in Indonesia. Okay, next is the formal English language education in Indonesia. We see at this level, students are introduced to basic vocabulary, simple grammar, and functional communication skill. It will start in junior high school, years 7 to 9. When the progresses to senior high school, year 10 to 12, students learn more advanced grammar, writing, reading comprehension, and oral communication. Emphasis is placed on academic language use. The method also focusing on the genre-based approach or GBA. It produces the different text type like genres such as report, narrative, and procedures. It promotes contextualized and purposeful language learning. English at the university level are no longer compulsory, but many universities still offer English as a general subject or tailor it to the specific disciplines through the course like English for specific purposes. The curriculum goals focuses on developing 4 language skills. It was the listening, the speaking, reading, and writing, and also the intercultural awareness. The assessment methods, the students are evaluated through the formative, like project, class participation and assignment, summative like exam, presentation, and written test, and also the role of the teachers are expected to have strong language and pedagogical skills. Ongoing professional development is essential to maintain teaching quality, and adapt to curriculum changes. Next, we discuss about non-formal English language education. Offered by the private English language (EL) schools. These include local and international institutions that provide structured English learning outside the formal school system. EL schools offer classes in flexible timing. They offer on the weekends, on the evenings, and online, allowing learners to balance study with work or the personal commitments. Personalized instruction with smaller class sizes and more individual attention. Learners benefit from tailored learning plans and faster language development. Specialist courses. EL schools offer programs like Business English, English for Tourism, and Academic English, addressing specific learners' goals and industries. We can see one of the cases in Kampung Inggris Pare in East Java or Jawa Barat is known as Indonesian English Village, housing hundreds of language schools. It has become a national model for immersive and community-based English learning. Organizations like British Council and EF English First. These are the international institutions. They operate schools across Indonesia, bringing global standards to local contexts and offering language and also the cultural exchange opportunities. We can see here now is the English language learning in informal settings. Self-directed learning. Many Indonesians are still use apps, websites, and books to learn English independently, allowing flexible personalized study. English at home in some families, particularly those with academic or international backgrounds, English is spoken at home, giving children early exposure. English is used as a medium of instruction in professional settings, such as business or IT workshops, enabling learning of both content and language. English clubs and communities are also important. Informal groups or campus clubs often organize discussion, debates, or speaking practice sessions. These encourage their students in order of the peer learning and confidence. Digital exposure like YouTube, podcasts, games, and social media expose learners to authentic English. These improve learning and reading skills informally. Language exchange programs are also crucial. Platforms like Tandem or local meetups connect Indonesian learners with native English speakers, promoting mutual language learning and intercultural exchange, so the students have the opportunity to learn about the culture from outside Indonesia. Now we can see one of the external support that we have discussed in chapter 1. The first is the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Abdul Mukti, has affirmed that the ministry's dedication to enhancing the competence of English teachers across Indonesia. The minister affirmed that his side is dedicated to preparing future generations to be knowledgeable, respectful of values, healthy, skilled, and adaptable. Mukti stated that the effective communication, especially in English, is crucial in today's globalized world. This commitment was voiced during the Minister Mukti participation in the Cambridge English Asia Pacific Leadership Summit 2025 forum held here on Wednesday, February the 12th, 2025. The second is we can see the Department of Sociology of Visipol UGM organize a guest lecture comparing non-formal education in Romania to Indonesia with an expert from the West University of Timisoara on Friday 14 on March. A lecturer from the West University of Timisoara, Dr. Atalia Onilu, recognizing non-formal education in Europe began in 2001. The people realized that the presence of non-formal education does not only function as a complement to formal education, but it can also help hone self-competencies and character. It can help hone character, culture, and soft skills that you would not typically experience in formal education, as Dr. Atalia mentioned. Okay, for the last part, overall, English has been taught in Indonesia's schools since 1950s and plays a key role in global communication, business, and education. Despite challenges like uneven teacher quality and limited resources, English language education continues to grow through formal schools and non-formal options like courses in English Village. As we can see, one of the successful English courses that have implemented the immersive method is Kampung Inggris Pare. I think that's all from me from chapter 1. We will continue to chapter 2, presenting by my friend Rifqah.
Thank you, Anugrah, for the opportunity. Now let's move to the next chapter, which is about English language schools and their roles. EL schools are non-formal institutions that focus specifically on teaching English. Unlike formal schools that have many subjects and limited time for English, EL schools are dedicated only to language learning. Their main role is to support and complement formal education. Many Indonesian students feel that school-based English is not enough, especially when it comes to speaking, listening, or test preparation. EL schools fill that gap by offering more personalized, practical, and flexible programs. They serve a wide range of learners, from kids to adults, from beginners to advanced. EL schools also adapt to students' needs, like preparing for work, studying abroad, or passing IELTS or TOEFL exams. In summary, they help learners build confidence and fluency, especially for real-life communication and career growth. Okay, now let's move on. What services do EL schools offer? Let me share some examples of services from well-known EL schools in Indonesia. The first one is from English First, or EF. They offer programs for young learners, adults and professionals, test preparation, academic year abroad, and even corporate training. The next one is from Britain English Education. They focus on English for young learners, young adults, professionals, and exam preparation. Also, there's from Kampung Inggris Pare. They provide general English courses and also TOEFL or IELTS preparation and intensive programs, and they are available offline and online. Each institution adjusts its approach depending on learners' age, goals, and daily schedule. The next topic I want to talk about is about technology integration. Technology plays an important role in how English language schools operate today. Many institutions use digital tools to make learning more flexible and engaging. For example, application or Online platforms like Duolingo, Quizzes, and Grammarly are used to improve grammar, vocabulary, and writing skills. Schools like EF or English First also have their own platforms such as EF English Live, which combines live sessions and self-paced learning. During the pandemic, online platforms like Zoom and Google Meet became important. And now, many schools continue using them for online or hybrid classes. Some institutions even use AI integration to create personalized learning experience. It helps students focus on areas they need the most. Overall, integrating technology helps students become more independent and motivated to learn anytime and anywhere. Next, English language schools in Indonesia are part of non-formal education and are regulated by the Ministry of Education. To operate legally, they must get a license from the local education office. These schools are guided by national laws like the Education System Law number 20 of 2003 and other regulations about non-formal institutions. Each school must meet certain standards like having qualified teachers, proper facilities, and a clear curriculum. Some schools also offer certification for students such as TOEFL or IELTS and may apply for accreditation through BAN PNF. Sorry. So even though they are not part of the formal school system, English language schools must still follow specific rules to ensure quality and accountability. Well, this is the last part of my presentation. In conclusion, English language schools in Indonesia are important non-formal institutions that support the formal school system by offering customized and practical language learning. They serve people from all age groups and backgrounds, whether for academic needs, professional goals, or personal interests. EL schools offer various programs like General English, Academic English, or English for specific fields like business or tourism. What makes them stand out is their flexibility, their use of technology, and their learner centered approach. Many also offer extra services like translation, career support, or speaking clubs, which can help students grow not only in language but also in confidence and real world communication. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Well, now let's move to the next session, which is reflective discussion. Are you ready, Anugrah?
Yes, Rifqah.
Okay, so for Chapter 1, there is one interesting question for you. So, the chapter highlights issues like teacher quality and curriculum gaps. Reflect on your own English teachers. What teaching methods help you learn most effectively? And were there obstacles that hinder your progress?
Okay, in my experience, the most effective English teachers were those who use interactive and contextual teaching methods. For example, teachers who applied the genre based approach or the GBA, it helped me understand not just grammar and vocabulary, but also how to use English for real life communication through different type of text like narrative or report. There's also group discussions like role plays and writing projects. It also made me learn more meaningful and engaging. But however, I also noticed that some teachers lack confidence in speaking English or rely too much on the textbook. This reflects the issue of teacher training quality. It was mentioned in chapter 1, showing that the need for more practical and communicative approaches in teacher so it can develop their programs teaching.
I see. So you mentioned that there are some different methods that help you learn effectively, even though some teachers still needs improvement, right?
Yes, thank you for the simplifying, Rifka.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, I think for chapter two, we have also something to discuss about who's complement formal education. Did you ever feel that your school English classes were insufficient, pushing you to seek extra courses? What specific skills like speaking or test preparation did you aim to improve outside school?
Mm, yeah, I did. I think English classes at school were not enough, especially for us who want to work in the field of English education. To to show our skills, we need certificates, right? Like IELTS, TOEFL, or Duolingo English test. So yeah, we need them to apply for jobs or maybe study abroad. To achieve a high score, we need good strategies, right? And right now, I'm currently taking an IELTS preparation course at I'm Skillful. It is one of the English courses in Makassar. There, I have learned many useful tips and tricks for answering IELTS questions that I didn't learn in the university. Also, the class is more focused and practical. The teachers really guide us step by step, and we practice speaking, writing, listening, and reading like in the real test. And I personally think it helps me feel more confident to use English, especially for academic purposes. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Rifka. I do agree with you because sometimes we have to seek extra courses outside from our uh, the first learning environment so that our knowledge can expand more, not just in one place but to another place. I agree to that. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Maybe we should next to the last session, I guess. Yeah, this is the core reflection. I'm gonna ask you first. What do you think is the main benefit of learning English outside school? Is it about flexibility, practical focus, or something else? And how might this shape education policy in Indonesia?
Okay, I think for me personally, the main benefit of learning English outside school for practical focus and flexibility, we can see like non-formal settings like private courses or platforms like Kampung Inggris. They offered personalized instruction and specialized content like business English or academic English. There is also informal settings that through apps like YouTube or English clubs also allows learners to improve based on their own pace and interest. These alternatives often provide more immersive and updated materials than formal education. For education policy in Indonesia, this highlights the need to bridge the gap between formal education and real world English use. Policymakers should consider integrating more flexible, practical, and digital learning components into the national curriculum. I think that's all from me, what I have to say about uh, flexibility, practical focus, or something else.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your insight, Nugra. Yeah, I do agree, especially if you mention like it is about practical focus because um In many courses, the lessons are more focused and intensive. For example, in my IELTS class, as I said before, we don't just learn about general English. Instead, we focus on strategies to get a high score. I think it's very goal oriented, right? And we practice exactly what we need for the test. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I will continue. Um, Unlike in school where we study many topics at once, English courses help us concentrate on one specific goal. And this kind of focused learning is more effective, especially for people who need English for jobs, university, or even going abroad. And I think for the government, if they see how useful this is, they might support more practical programs like English test preparation, maybe, or speaking classes in public schools too. And that way, um, more students can get those benefits, even if they can't afford private courses. Yeah, that's all my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Rifka. That was a very meaningful insight for me because I've see something new from your reflection. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to Anugrah for sharing your insight. Yeah, I think that was the last session. Thank you for sharing and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi